You need to stop justifying yourself to people as soon as possible in your life. And it's going to be tempting. When you're justifying your no, you're asking for permission to say no. You're sometimes begging for that person to understand you and understand your no, or I would like to reschedule, or I don't feel well. As if that was not enough. The reason you need to start doing it as soon as possible in your life is because the further you go in life, the more responsibilities you have and the more serious they are. So if you are always asking for permission to say no, a lot of people are gonna step all over you in life. And I wish that wasn't the case, but there's just a lot of low quality people, and I'm not saying low value, high value. I'm saying low quality in the sense of not respectful, not tolerant, manipulative. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I tried a couple of times. Anyways, you understand. People that are going to pretend to be nice to you, to use you, but hold on. That does not dismiss the people that are going to be great. But I'm just saying, a lot of time in life, we are super focused on us. If we are doing good, if we are maybe liked, if we are accepted, if we are, I don't know, if we are looking good, if we are doing good. I think I said that already. But the focus on ourselves doesn't allow us to observe others when all of our attention is on ourselves. And there is a lot of good at looking, observing, and listening to what other people are saying, because a lot of the time the low quality people will give cues. You will maybe have a gut feeling about them too. But when we are focused on being good enough, begging if we are able to say no, we give answers that are up for interpretation. We give wishy-washy answers. That kind of people will take advantage of that. The people that don't care about you, don't care about other people, but themselves. And that's a lot of people. So, the faster you learn to say your no's, and say your no's as if multiple no, not say your no's. I don't think that was funny anyways. The faster you're actually able to see people for who they are. And when you try to mold yourself into this likable 21st century modern being that's okay, I have a lot of things on my plate, but I'll still come. Oh, I'm really tired, I'm starting to feel sick, but I like you, so I'll do it. Oh, you need me to stay longer? Okay, I want to be a good employee, I'm gonna stay longer. Unpaid overtime, I'm gonna do unpaid overtime. Oh, you just want to date for a year and see what's the vibe? Oh, it's okay, I'm chill, I'll see what the flow is. But really, you don't feel that way, right? If you don't feel that way, and you're just creating that mask to be likable, you miss all of the opportunities to clearly see someone for who they are. People are not going to reveal themselves to you when you are being super likable and useful for them. I hate that I'm phrasing it that way because it lacks humanity, but let's be real together today. I think we can. When you say, oh, well, maybe I'll see, and you never give an answer back, and it just builds that kind of resentment on one side or the other. There's this lack of clarity, and when you start to feel confused, you already know that's not good. When you have to pressure yourself into saying yes to avoid the reaction of a no, you are already denying yourself of what you want. You're already saying no to yourself. So why are you fearing the no of a nobody or someone else? That means nothing to you. And what we see in them oftentimes is what could have been. Maybe the father that never accepted us, that finally accepts us as we are being so good, or the mother that is so proud of us finally because she never said once that she was. And you'll see I'm using a parental example because these habits of being the superior people pleaser tend to come from childhood. Maybe we're always compared to the best friend that we have, to the sister that we have. Maybe we just never have that reassurance. And in the formative years, when we don't have that reassurance, we'll keep on looking for it elsewhere. If you don't believe me, there's 3 stages of self-acceptance. The first one is from the mother. The second is from the self. And the third is from others. But if we skip the first one, we don't have all the steps to access the second. And then we're stuck looking for it through other people. And who are these people? You can rewind the video. I told you all about it in the beginning. And I'm not saying there's no good people. But even going as black and white as good and bad is reductive. I think that at the end of the day, there's people that are going to take advantage of you. There's people that are going to lie to you. There's people that are going to deceive you. And when you're so focused on being liked by everyone in true ASMR tone, you completely miss your chance at discarding the people that are not worthy of you. Of course, the first step ideally would be loving yourself and feeling worthy and practicing self-love, but in real life, it's just a lifelong journey. There's never a point where you feel like you are truly good enough forever. You love yourself that way forever. There's nothing you could change. You're finally 100% accepted. But you either have a good heart or you don't have a good heart. Meaning, you do something that you know is morally questionable, but you feel that guilt, you feel that gut feeling telling you that it's not what needs to be done, and you feel like, okay, I'm going to improve, I'm going to do better, I'm going to try my best. So I'm not asking you to be picture perfect, and I'm not saying that no one ever lies, no one ever does something morally questionable. But if you don't have a good heart, that's when it's a problem. Because you're never going to feel that guilt. You're never going to feel that shame. And of course we could argue, well, maybe that's antisocial personality disorder. Maybe it's a specific type of personality disorder that feels that way. But just look out. Even if it is or if it isn't, just learn to look out for yourself. That's the best way to go about it. Instead of trying to diagnose if people are antisocial, if they actually have empathy, they don't have empathy. look out for yourself by being firm with what you need. By saying, I don't want to see you today, I don't feel good, but I'm happy to reschedule. When you really feel that way. And someone who actually respects you, I guarantee, will tell you, okay, take care of you. When would you want to reschedule? Someone who has a good heart, but is a little bit immature, will maybe have a little tantrum, but then shortly after will be like, look, I was really disappointed. I'm sorry that I reacted that way. But someone who doesn't have a good heart will make you feel bad for it, will have a disproportionate reaction to reality, and will remind you of it for the years to come, or use it against you, or play with the silent treatment for months and weeks, and things that will confuse you. And your goal is not to understand why they're doing it, what's happening in their life. It's to understand that you feel confused, you don't feel good with their ways of handling things, and to respect that, and to affirm that you deserve better, and that this is just not someone to keep in your life. Because why would you want to be around someone who makes you feel confused, makes you feel bad about yourself, makes you feel less than, always compares you to them? It sounds like a punishment, if you ask me. So you see, by being true to your needs and vocalizing them, and not always being the, oh, I don't really feel that good, and then they insist, and then you're okay, I'll come. By stopping that facade, you're allowing people to show you who they are. And when they show you who they are, you feel a reaction to it. I'm not asking you to become a psychologist, a professional in sociology, and diagnose people and try to understand why. If you ever go that route, just know that you should be paid to do all of this. But what you must look out for is how you feel. And I think a lot of the time we are focused on pleasing. If we have that childhood background of not having that validation, pleasing, being liked, being seen. Oh, that one is good, being seen. It's not about how much you are seen, it's about who sees you. Do you respect the people that see you? Would you actually engage with the people that see you? And why do you want to be seen for? Do you want to be seen for personal fulfillment? Do you want to be seen for internal validation? Do you want to be seen for self-acceptance? Or do you want to be seen because what you do requires you to be seen? It just does. And on that line of thinking, I'll tell you something else since you're here and we're talking about this. Because I could stretch this topic out for 65 minutes, but let's just add another component. We're gonna level up right there. You'll notice that most of the people that get to a place where they're seen, and that would probably equate to attention, popularity, in this day and age, followers, fans, things of that nature. A lot of people who end up having longevity in the game of attention don't do it for the result of getting that attention. There's a process that's way more interesting behind it. So the act of creating, the desire to share, in all mediums, by the way, we're talking here, but it doesn't have to be with a microphone and with a camera and some lights and a California king bed. No, because that bed is like super comfortable. Anyways, if you're focused on being seen, I assure you that this is not gonna last very long, because being seen is a lot. It's just way more than we can anticipate it to be. Because once again, who sees us is actually what matters. And I guarantee that a lot of people who sees us are not the people we'd hope for. They're maybe not people we'd respect, and maybe they're people that don't respect us either. But nonetheless, it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of emotional strain. So the idea of wanting something and actually getting there are two different things. I would highly suggest you focusing on the process, the day-to-day, the routine of something, and liking the routine, and simply zoning in on that and see what the results are. When you do good, you have a good heart. You check out for people because it's not just that you're suspicious, you're looking out after yourself, right? And that's a good thing, because when you become an adult, your parents are not going to look out for you anymore if they were ever doing it to begin. Let's assume that they did. You need to learn to do it, and that means becoming an adult. And it's a very gratifying feeling, because you kind of know that this might become your parental style. But anyways, when you do good, you have a good heart, you look out for yourself, and you're focused on the process, and that joy, that little joy every day of like just going and get a coffee and starting your tasks and talking with the person at the counter and maybe building like a little connection with them over time just because you go there every day, making someone smile, just eating good food, calling your family, feeling accomplished in what you do every day, taking care of yourself, things of that nature. You can now trust that the results are going to happen over time, and the timing at which the results arrive are not in your control. You gotta trust God. Maybe it's the universe for you. Maybe it's energy, the sky. Maybe it's something else. People have all kinds of beliefs. I'm not here to convince you of a belief. But I'm here to reaffirm that you deserve to be looked after. And it is not because it never happened to you before that it can't start today. I want to reaffirm that it's not just because you are a nice person that everyone is nice. And while it's not your job to figure out what everyone is thinking about, what their backstories are, why they are the way they are, it's your job to ensure that you have quality people around you, because we say you're the sum of the 5 people that are the closest to you. So make sure they're good people. And the reason you're looking out for yourself is mostly for peace. And why do we want to do that? Because when you have purpose, when you're trying to cultivate joy in your day-to-day life, you need that mental clarity. You cannot be focused on drama every day with that friend and this person and this, the next. It's too much. And why do we want to cultivate peace? Because when you have that satisfaction every day of feeling good, or at least as good as you can on that day, you get to your purpose faster because you have enough space to really go at the tasks that need attention with the best energy possible. And thus you get to your goals, maybe not faster actually, because we said the timing is not in our hands, but we can have the trust and we can have the belief that what is meant for us is going to find us, because we cultivate that energy, and because that energy is in our lives every day, that's what comes to us. And being a good person doesn't mean stepping on your needs. It means having a good heart. That's it. And learning from your mistakes and being genuine in your attempts at being a human. Thus, being honest, I suppose, would be the better way to phrase it. All in all, I think it's important to close this little talk session by saying that when we're really focused on the result appearing a certain way, being seen a certain way, it comes from a place of deep lack. And I'd rewind the video to that specific part where we talked about it because it's just that good. It's just that good, but also you deserve the process that you see and that you like, because you are in charge of your own life, and that is something beautiful. Okay. Well, I'll always be there to tell you some lessons I wish someone would have told me sooner. As a kid, probably. Because when we learn something, it's important to share. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe, and I'm very excited to see you again and have the day that you deserve.